If you're the kind of person who reads news or news articles during your leisure time, you're probably up to date on the Brexit, the UK's referendum pertaining to membership of the European Union. What would this mean for the youth? Let's know more from EBC correspondent Rachel Quilantang.
The EU referendum is going to happen on Thursday, the 23rd of June. It is a vote for Britain to leave or remain in the EU. Perhaps one of the most important views are that of the youth, because whatever the outcome, they will be the most affected. This vote doesn't happen every few years, and it's not just confined to Britain's government. Rather, it's a once-in-a-lifetime vote that affects Europe. Knowing this now, and just now, many of the youth lack the urgency and knowledge to even be bothered about it. Only now has relevant information become readily available and easier to understand. But there is a minimum time left for anyone to make a careful decision amongst such uncertainty. It may even be advisory to stick to status quo. This is not even enough time for people to set aside their personal experiences from the bigger picture, which is the economy.
I thought they meant well, but it's not the way to go about it. It was very patronising, and yeah, I think that's just going to put people off.
I thought it was quite hilarious, to be honest. I think it's kind of embarrassing that they're missing out the G in half the words. Like, I'm 21, I know what a G is. Like, it doesn't appeal to me.
But I wouldn't vote from watching that video. That doesn't, yeah, I don't know, it's just funny. It's almost like it's completely taking the mick out of itself. Feels like it's like a parody.
The youth love to travel, meet new people and cultures, and dream to work abroad. The EU is so accessible right now that these are easily achieved. The EU has a single market based on a shared set of rules which allows the freedom of movement of people. And there are more Britons abroad enjoying the freedom than we think.
I believe the Eurozone has been a profound failure in these last 6 or 7 years, and that the officials are not doing things. Youth unemployment in Southern Europe is devastating. 25, 28, 50%. You can't have that. And the British people who are opposed are saying, we will not lash ourselves to the mast of a sinking ship. So Europe should see this as a warning. Even if the British stay in the EU by a very narrow margin, they should see this as a warning that their system is not on course, that it's headed to the rocks.
I strongly believe that Britain will be stronger within the European Union. And I think that it's fair to say that, broadly speaking, within the academic community in the UK, other professors, other academics, this opinion is quite widely shared. Not universally, but quite widely. The reason that I think that's the case is that Britain is still a major actor in Europe and the world, but it will increase and magnify its influence by being part of the most important international groupings in the world. Within that mixture, it means that Britain's influence as a financial, economic, political and cultural actor will be strengthened by being part of the most important trading bloc and political bloc in Europe today.
But it's these rules that those for leave argue EU is too controlling and weighing Britain down, whereas those for remain claim that Britain is prospering because its success and bond with the single market. Leaving the EU doesn't mean the rules will change, but it's so intertwined with Europe, economists say it's hard to predict the economy's future. And Brexit would mean new arrangements that could take a decade to settle in. Both sides are passionate about making Britain a better country, and the youth of the country must know that they have every right and should take every opportunity to be part of Britain's and Europe's future. But with such a short amount of time left, we are left to vote with our gut instinct. I'm Rachel from London, United Kingdom, and I am 1 or 25.